welcome to Buffalo Bills pregame show for Week 4 against the New York Jets. Alright, our topic for this week is the Bills cut Edwards. Big story, benched and cut in the same week. So Nakia, what do you think about this?
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not upset because I didn't really like him anyway.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that he got cut.
Alright. Jared, what do you think about it?
Although I'm wearing a Trent jersey. As
a little ironic, yeah?
Yeah,
a little bit.
First thing I saw in my closet today. But, no, I just thought that I liked Trent. But
Well, clearly, yeah.
It's all about quarter mentality. If the other players of the Bills didn't like Trent, you can't start the guy. Simple as that.
And
what do you think, though? I mean, you're the only one who's met him.
I met Trent Edwards after his his best game ever. I think he threw 4 touchdown passes in a game against Miami. And it was my sister's 18th birthday, and we went out and met him at a restaurant. And I personally think that he was a nice guy. I mean, he was a great guy to us that night. That was before his concussion. That was before, everything.
So are you saying that his concussion made him like a jerk to the other players?
Was he a jerk to the other players?
I don't know. I'm just wondering. I mean,
I don't know. I think he was a nice guy, and he was a nice guy, and he just couldn't play. That's the difference between being a nice guy and being able to play. So.
Okay.
All right. Next topic is all right. So what happens is the Bills, they get close to beating Miami. They get close to beating the Pats. And in the most exciting game I've seen from them in a very, very long time. And the question is, can we beat the Jets? Nakia, what do you think?
I don't think this week we can beat the Jets. I think it's going to be another one of those games like the Pats and the Fish where we come close. I think we're almost there, but I don't think we're there yet. And we may have a chance with Revis being out. So with Fitzpatrick throwing the long ball, that means, we might have a better chance of actually winning this game. But if we do, it's going to be real close.
Does Evans have a breakout game or something because of Revis?
I
still have a pretty good secondary.
Yeah, I think he will have a good game. Like I said, if we win, it'll be very, very close. If we can pull out the win, it's going to be close, just like the other ones. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a really good game.
All right. Jared, what do you think?
Honestly, I think we might get destroyed. First of all, we still aren't stopping the tight ends. Dustin Keller, I think, is going to have a great game against the Bills, unfortunately. Yeah. Chris Kelsey may have gotten his 4-year extension, but he can't cover tight ends. I don't know.
We got Paz back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's a good thing, though, but I don't know who's going to be on coverage. That's the only thing. He's the inside back.
All right.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think we're going to stop the run. I think we're still having trouble with that. And I know this is really negative. And finally, and you guys might want to hurt me on this one, I still think our secondary is overrated. I really do.
Actually, no, I tend to agree with that. We have a very young secondary. It may be our best part of the team.
Yeah, but they're not looking like the best part of the team. They're putting up 38 points last week.
Yeah, I mean, our defense is really mad. I mean, the defensive coordinator said was really mad that we put up 30 points and lost the game. That's not, we can't. Of course, Tom Brady is an amazing quarterback. But, all right, we have something to mention. We have a package we put together, and it's a Booker Edgerson interview. And the reason we did this is he is getting inducted into the Bills Wall of Fame at halftime of the Bills game this weekend. And so we have an interview for you. So here it is.
Booker Edgerson is being inducted into the Bills Wall of Fame this week. I decided to interview Booker about the Bills' back-to-back AFL championships and the honor of being inducted into the Wall of Fame. Booker, describe your feelings on being inducted into the Wall of Fame.
Being on the Wall of Fame is something that's outstanding. I can sit and try to describe it. And each time I do it, it's going to be different because it's a great moment. It's something that, I am the 26th individual that's going on that wall. Think of how many guys have played football here in Buffalo, and they're not up there. It's a great honor. That's all I can say. It's a great honor.
How proud are you of the back-to-back AFL championships?
Oh, I think it's great. A lot of folks say, Yeah, but it was American Football League. It doesn't make any difference, you know. It was only the National Football League. To me, you know, Cleveland Browns or Green Bay Packers, champs is champs. Whatever league you're in, you're champ. I always thought that the American Football League, if they had not merged with the National Football League, I think the National Football League would have went under, not the American Football League, because people really love the style of football. And if you look at it right now, we play American Football League, you know, style of football.
Down the field, yeah.
Yeah, passing and backs coming out of the backfield and then the slots and stuff like that. So we're the innovators, and I think we kept the fans in the stand, and because they like that fast game. We was the MTV in the '60s.
With your advocacy for retired players' compensation, what do you hope for out of the future collective bargaining agreement?
Well, first of all, it's always about the current players because that's the CBA. However, we have 4, 5, 6 issues on the table about former retired players, and number one is retirement. There was different types of retirement levels from the pre-93ers, you know, that goes back, and so we're trying to look at a compensation based on that's going to make it fair in terms of those guys coming up. The other thing is the health care. You know, there's a lot of guys that they play the game, and the league have said in the past is that, wait a minute, they haven't played the game in 10, 15 years. Well, sometimes it takes 10, 15 years or 20 years down the line before those injuries show up. And so therefore, they should be liable for that, just like even companies, when they have different policies and they have different things in place for workers like coal miners and stuff like that, is that they know that this stuff is not going to show up until 15, 20 years later. I taught school on the off season, and I worked for the phone company later on the off season. But we had to have a job because we wasn't making any money. Back in those days, the owners was making all the money and everything, and the players really wasn't making any money. Now, the players is getting their fair share, and so we feel that that's a very well compensated situation, and so therefore the players is getting compensated based on the things that we did back in those days. So that's why we're looking for the current players today in the CBA to negotiate the former retired players into the contract, so now we can get our just due.
Is there anything else that you think that younger fans should be made aware of that hasn't been mentioned today?
For the young fans out there, is just stick with the Bills because they will return. When you look at a lot of other teams across the league, the Bills is in better shape than those other teams. And I tell you, the Bills need to be in Western New York. They don't need to be anywhere else. I don't see them going anywhere else. And so, young fans, stick with the team. Do your criticism, but stick with the team.
Thanks, Justin, for that interview. All right, that was a pretty good interview. I like some of the points out. What about you?
No, that was good. And I just want to thank Booker Edgerson again. And I'm going to air the full interview up during the bye week. So.
All right, Nikki, what did you think of it?
I thought it was great. I didn't have much knowledge of the game with the whole AFL, NFL split, so it was good to get some info.
All right, cool. All right, now it's time for our keys of the game. My key of the game is stopping the run. They have been terrible against the run in the first 3 games. They need to do it in case we for sure.
I think they need to stop the long ball because last week we scored 30 points and we still lost, so they got to stop the long ball this week.
All right, Jerry, what's your...
Thank you, Sean. It's pressure to Mark Sanchez, all right? We just make him throw 7 interceptions, all right?
Like last time?
Oh, it was 6 last time.
Where are you at? Okay. All right, now it's time for our picks of the game. My pick of the game is Bills win it 31-28. Key of yours.
I have the Bills losing, unfortunately, 28-24.
Unfortunately, they're going to get destroyed 23-10.
All right, thank you for joining us this week, and join us next week against the Jaguars and Trent Edwards. See you then.